Hi, everybody. Woo. It's so nice to see everybody. I'm going to wait a second for everybody's video to connect. A hello out there to everybody on Facebook while I'm waiting. And oh, good. I see lots of folks in the room, young, old, new, old, every kind of person. Let's see, Deborah, nice to see you today in Kentucky. Hello. Trish, hello, nice to have you. Karen in Arizona, hello. Pete in Florida, or at least Pete's chair. Greg, nice to see you today. And thanks for being here, Greg Lewis, the Special Projects Director at Washington Rebels. And hello, Pete, back in the screen. Kathleen in Albuquerque, hello, good to see you today. And Sheila in Florida, glad you're here again. Janet, hello, nice to see you. I'm not sure if you're new, nice to have you with us. Anne, hello, coming in from, I forget, maybe it's Illinois. Hello, Caroline, nice to see you today in the DMV area. Kathy in Virginia, hello, I see a lot of my card party makers from yesterday. Lynn in Connecticut, nice to see you. And Rachel, Ray and Zeta, hello, great. I'm glad you're here, Zeta. It's always fun to see little ones. Annette, hello, in California. Gary, hello, nice to see you. Lisa in Indiana, hello. And Steve in Baltimore, Fred in the DMV, Jan, hello, nice to see you. One of our regular old revelers right there. Adele, nice to see you. Dennis Donnelly coming in from British Columbia. Carolyn in Idaho. Alan in the DMV. Susan, hello, nice to see you. And Beryl, Colin's mom in Chicago, nice to have you today. Hindi in Toronto, great to see you. Arlene in California, glad to have you today. Beth in Kentucky, Nancy in Vermont, Busy Graham, Executive Director, Carpe Diem Arts, glad you're here today. That's our partnership org on this program. Sandy in Maryland, or right around the corner from me. Jerome, nice to have you here. Kirsten, I'm glad you're here again today. And Storm in Massachusetts. And other folks without video on, hello to all of you. And sorry if I didn't see you by name. Oh, Kofi Dennis is in the room. I'm really glad to see you, Kofi. That's awesome. Kofi's one of our regular artists in here. And hello to all the other folks off camera. And hello again to everybody on Facebook Live. We're really glad that you are with us here today too. Shout out to Mary from Omaha, who watches every day on Facebook. If anybody's new to us, please put your state or your country in the chat box. We love knowing where everybody's coming from. And for anybody who's new, just letting you know, we are doing this at noon every single day, right here, doing this thing, singing together, thinking together, smiling at each other. And we've got lots of fun weeks coming up. So we are doing a partnership week with the Ubuntu Choir Network. That's an international network of choruses. And I believe we're going to have folks in the room from a couple different countries. And we have a voting song week coming up, and a lot of other fun, an archive week with the Library of Congress again in November. And please join us tomorrow for Diana Saez, who is new to us, and it'd be great to give her a big warm welcome with lots of folks in the room. All right, so today is, oh, actually, sorry, some announcements. In the chat box, my email, in case you want to get on the daily list and or send comments or questions, a donate link, and we encourage everyone to please do donate and help keep the program going as we are going on and on more and more months, and we've just passed our halfway through the year mark. We are definitely seeking funds to keeping it going and going ad infinitum potentially. Thank you so much to Colin Bills, who is in the room running tech for us. Thank you, Colin. And I would like to introduce, but I have to find them on my screen. Yeah. They have left my main screen. I would like to introduce today's artists who we are, yay, hello, nice to see you guys. There you are. So Clayson Benally and Jeneda Benally of Sihasin, which is their band, and also Clayson and Jeneda, who are brother and sister, are social distancing because Clayson's wife is in healthcare. So that is why they are standing 6 feet apart. They actually do like each other. And also they are part of the Jones Benally family dancers with Dad Jones, who will also be making an appearance today in this celebration of Indigenous Peoples Day, which is the exact right name for today. Clayson and Jeneda, welcome. Tell us what you're gonna do. Teach us the chorus of your song. We can't wait to sing and dance with you.
Thank you, Shahat. So welcome everybody. I'm gonna take this out, my little monitor. So thank you so much for being here with us. We are really honored to be able to provide an online platform for Indigenous Peoples Day today. You know, before we get into the song, I just want to you know, acknowledge that there have been decades upon decades upon decades of hard work from so many people in so many communities to change the name, to recognize Indigenous Peoples Day. And I think we're going to talk about that a little bit later. Am I correct?
I thought we're talking about
we're going to talk about it now. All right. So there's been so much work, and I think that people need to, I would like for people to understand that the reason that it is so important to have a day that turns things around for us as Indigenous peoples, that there's a cruel history with Columbus, and although Columbus is celebrated in so many different ways, the story behind what he did to our peoples and that continued historical trauma that we still face today is still with us through through the taking of land, through the spread of disease, through so many of the atrocities that occurred. And so one thing that I often think about is when, we wouldn't have a Kit Carson Day, we wouldn't have a Hitler Day, we wouldn't have Osama bin Laden Day. Like, it's really important to put into perspective that we can't continue to celebrate tyrants that create genocide against peoples. And so it's really important to acknowledge the hard work and the heartbreak and the victory that today is for Indigenous People Day, Indigenous Peoples Day.
Yeah, my name is Clayson Benally, and I'm so honored to be here with you all. Thank you for joining us. Indigenous Peoples Day, for me, it's part of an educational platform to dispel myths. When you look at Columbus Day and how when you go to the public school system here in America, there's just a small little paragraph. Maybe the first chapter mentions the pre-Columbus era, and then everything else is a history that doesn't represent or reflect the indigenous people, the populations that were here, like the Taino, where Columbus first landed when he went to what's now known as the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, the Caribbean, those particular regions that were hardest hit first. And as indigenous people, today there are over 570 plus or minus. That number is always fluctuating because depending on which administration and which tribes they choose to recognize, these are federally recognized tribes. We're not even talking about the tribes that are not that are struggling to get federal recognition, like the Lumbee in New Jersey. There's so many different nations, but over 575 plus or minus. So the indigenous peoples and populations that were completely annihilated, that number doesn't even come close to touching on that. We're talking from north in Alaska, Canada, all the way to the tip of Chile. These are indigenous brothers and sisters of ours. The Caribbean, all these regions, the territories that as the Americas, there's a long sordid history. And to dispel that myth and to bring recognition to genocide. What is genocide? And why is it that to this day, the United States government does not recognize genocide? This is a very powerful word that, obviously the history of America is built on genocide, but when you have a country that refuses to acknowledge that they've committed genocide, this is a grave atrocity. And this ties in with that myth that connects to people such as Columbus and the historical kind of oppressive nature that this system has, still continues to teach within the school systems. And it's I'm just proud to be a part of this movement with so many other, not just youth, we're talking multi-generational energy to dispel and to say, hey, as Indigenous people, we are still here. We still have our language, we still have our culture, and we're going to carry on. So we're going to sing a song about that hope that we have.
Before we do that, though, I just want to also add, that, you know, today, even though it's considered like a celebration of Indigenous Peoples Day, it's a celebration of the resilience of our people through all that we've been through. But also, I would like to invite you, as our audience today, to take this day to educate yourselves. And being here today with us is one way. It's one part of that. But if you could, I know that this is kind of homework, but if you could put where you're from and whose ancestral homeland, who are the traditional Indigenous people that come from where you are. If you could just type that into the chat, that would be amazing. Because it's always important to acknowledge the landscape that exists because of the people that come from it. So with that said, Clayson.
So the song that we're going to share with you is called Shine. Stay up there.
Oh, okay.
Don't keep running out everywhere.
I know, but I'm trying to
Grab
keep our
your
distance.
bass and let's get this started. So this song is called Shine, and it's about our youth, about our future generations, because everything that we do as Indigenous people, our decision-making process is with a forward thinking of this is for our children, their grandchildren, for 7 generations. So how do we lift and empower our youth? And this particular song, the first section of the song is something that we kind of wrote in the style of a powwow. It's a vocable style that is used during, I guess, intertribal gatherings. So the song itself, it goes, I'm going to sing it in a lower range. Ya, ya is the first kind of vowel sound. A lot of the vowel sounds are just open and pure and full of energy. So it's kind of like a way of encouraging. Yahweh. So that's the very first section. Ya, ya, ha. So Yahweh hayo. Yahweh hayo. Yahweh hayo. And it's going to repeat. And we're hoping that you're going to join us. And the chorus in English is, I want to see you. I want to see you shine. So that's pretty simple and straightforward. And we like to give it a little bit of support with energy because this is who we are as Indigenous people. We are alive. We are contemporary. We're just not an item stuck on a museum shelf from the past. We're constantly evolving and moving forward in this world. We're not just, you know, some imagery from the past. Very important to put it into context of who we are today.
Okay, so are you all ready? Yeah? Awesome.
All right. 1.
Colin, should we try to get their attention? And Clayson or Jeneda, can you guys hear me? Yep, we've lost audio. Colin, do you understand? So Clayson.
Shine! touch you slide. To the south, touch you down. Perspective brings a better view. You walk every got it, Jeneda. Sending sun to kiss the night. What's the story but I see blind? Yellow pollen carry through. Beauty dark becomes the light. I wanna see you. I wanna see you. Wanna see you. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you
Bring-
for singing.
We're gonna bring our father Jones Benally to sing a song with us and teach you a quick dance.
Oh, this way, could you go?
So this is a round dance that we're gonna do, and I think it's super important to acknowledge that within the last generation or so, I know we've had so many different movements, from the American Indian movement, Idle No More, missing and murdered Indigenous women's. I don't think any of these are separate. These are all connected. We are one people, whether it's Black Lives Matter, whether we are standing up for the environment, whether we are standing for our Mother Earth, for the different species or the plant species within our environment, whether you consider yourself an activist. But I think it's a time where we are coming together as a nation, and we're trying to heal. We're trying to move forward in a way that respects, reflects, and heals that circle. This is a dance of unity. This is a dance of family, of friendship, of coming together. And this drum, the beat, that represents our heart. So this is a song and a dance, and it's very simple. The dance steps.
I can show you. We're going to ask you if you could just to stand up. I know this is we sing together, but we want to take a moment to dance together to recognize that heartbeat that we all have. So it's with your left foot first.
So it's a very simple step.
And if you want to virtually hold hands with somebody in your cube next to you by holding out your hands. We invite you to do that. But you know, as we work towards equality, a more equal and just world, we recognize that we are all connected, that we are all brothers and sisters here on our beautiful Mama Earth, and that if one person has privilege, then utilize that privilege to uplift and advocate for equality.
谢谢，
Would you like-
喂呀，哎呦呦，喂呦喂呦，呀喂哈呀，喂呀哎呀，哎呦呦喂呦喂呦，呀喂哈呀，喂呀呀，喂呦喂呦喂呦，喂呀呀，喂呦喂呦喂呦，喂呀呀，咦哈呀，喂呀哈，喂呀哈呀。喂呀，哎呀，喂呀呀，喂呀，喂呀，呀喂哈呀，喂呀，哎呀，喂呀呀，喂呀，喂呀，呀喂哈呀，喂呀呀，喂呀，喂呀，喂呀，喂呀呀，喂呀，喂呀，喂呀，喂呀呀，咦哈呀。喂呀哈，喂呀哈，喂呀呀，喂呀喂呀，呀咦哈呀，喂呀呀，喂呀喂呀喂呀，喂呀呀，喂呀喂呀喂呀，喂呀呀咦哈呀，喂呀哈，喂呀哈呀。喂呀，哎呀，哎呀呀，喂呀，喂呀，呀喂哈呀，喂呀，哎，哎呀，喂呀，喂呀，呀喂哈呀，哎呀呀，喂呀，喂呀，喂呀，喂呀呀，喂呀，喂呀，喂呀。喂呀呀，喂呀咦哈呀，喂呀哈，喂呀哈呀。Good dancing.
Thank you, Sihasin.
Oh,
That's our father, Jones Benally.
yeah. We are very happy to be here.
Oh, you can talk towards this way, Sihasin.
Hello, brother and sister. We are all here, all over the world. We are brother and sister. We're in one. We're never the creator put on this world. We have one roots all over the world. We be part of be here. That's where we share our culture together all over the world.
Beautiful.
Yeah, Sihasin, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Janeda and Clayson, thank you. That was beautiful. Janeda, can you walk your dad toward the camera if he's willing, just so we can see him nice and close? If he's willing.
What? Do you want to come up to
And
the camera?
I want to add that my dad, what he stated, how we are all brothers and sisters, that indigenous, that word alone represents that we are people of this earth, and all over this world, we are brothers and sisters, and our place of origin and how we connect to this world is what makes us special and unique. So be proud of who you are, your identity, whether you're from Europe, Asia, Africa, all these places where we connect in our umbilical cords, our place of origin. That network with the earth is very important. So we are all indigenous.
Thank you, Clayson. Thank you, Janeda. Thank you, Jones. That was absolutely incredible. I loved the dance.
Oh, wow, this is so
Loved
beautiful.
being able to hear you.
So many different people from so many different territories here. Piscataway. All right. Where else do we have? I'm just a Shoshone and Bannock. Wow, so wonderful. Inuit. So thank you so much. I hope that, let me close that chat. I hope that today for you is a continuation of, learning, of the re-education of what of our, you know, of Indigenous peoples' history. And, you know, so many times, well, all the time actually, history is written by the victors of war. And so we invite you to take the time to build those bridges and to educate yourself about all of the many different Indigenous nations that exist not only here in North America, Central America, South America, but all throughout the world. That there are even in, you know, Greenland and Norway and Scandinavia, we have Sami relatives who are fighting for their sovereignty as well. And we have the British people in Britannia and France who are also indigenous to that landscape, who are fighting for their sovereignty and continuing by any creative means necessary to keep our cultures, our indigenous cultures alive.
Thank you, Jeneda. Thank you, Clayson. Thank you, Jones. That was great. A total learning lesson and a lovely artistic journey. Yeah, so I'm not sure if you guys have your monitor on, so I don't think you can hear me.
I can hear her, Jeneda.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So are you there?
Battery
Can
died.
you hear me, Clayson?
Okay, I'm gonna.
Can
Just
you guys
unplug
hear
the
me?
mic.
So potentially a more complex tech setup than we are accustomed to in here. And sorry, everybody, for all of the snafudoodles. But Clayson and Jeneda and Jones, can you hear me now? Yes. Yep. Okay. That was amazing, incredible, an incredible artistic journey, an incredible cultural journey, absolutely beautiful. And for you guys to be doing it even while you're socially distanced is just another amazing, speaking to of the times that we are in right now. And Jeneda, your idea to have everybody put the natives from the land where they now live onto the chat box was a beautiful and incredible idea, and incredibly moving to see all those tribal names going by in the chat. And I'm going to actually transfer, which we don't usually put the in here chat onto Facebook, but I'm going to go ahead and type in all the tribal names onto Facebook, because I think in some ways that is the most intense moment of recognition of, you know, the notion of our being on someone else's land. In some ways feels more powerful when we think about just how many different someones, how many different cultures we sort of plastered over in our arrival here. And I also would suggest, as Jeneda said, you know, use today as a learning opportunity. So if you don't know some of the tribes whose names are in the chat and who I'll put on Facebook, maybe pick a tribe that you don't know and read something about them today, or two tribes, or the tribe from the area where you come, because I think that would be a really amazing way to pay homage and to increase our learning. Not unlike some of the other learning that we've done in this room, it's really the having of the knowledge that makes us better stewards of the better way of being and the creation of change. So guys, I want to thank you again so much. And I want to say just quickly that I'm going to put in an email a link that Jeneda sent me of them performing the song on YouTube. So the little tiny tech blips that we were having where we might not have been able to hear it as well as we might have liked, you've got chance number 2 to visit their YouTube channel. And we're not actually taking questions today because we've run over so much. Greg Lewis, did you want to say something? I see you waving. You're muted. Well, hang on. I'm going to say goodbye to everybody on Facebook. Thank you, Facebook, for joining us today. And Colin, thank you for turning the Facebook link off.